73 delightful degrees at Wrigley. One of the most beautiful days we've had all year. Humidity is not an issue. There's a little breeze blowing. Bright and sunny. Boy, the colors are absolutely vivid as you look around. Green grass, green ivy on the walls, on the outfield barriers. The fans wearing a lot of blue and whites. Lake Michigan, kind of a turquoise shade of blue as we look out beyond the right field fence. Cubs with a commanding 15.5 game lead over St. Louis. We are ready for baseball on this Friday afternoon. Denard Span will lead things off. He doubled to start last night's game. That was his only hit in 3 at-bats. Lefty against lefty. John Lester fires. First pitch in for a strike, and away we go. The umpires, Tom Hallion calling balls and strikes. Chicagoland native Dan Bellino working at first. Phil Cousy at second, and Adam Hamari at third. It's a good crew. Big chop slowly to a charging Zobrist. Short hops, short throw to Rizzo, gets him. Not the most routine play in the world, but Ben Zobrist made it. Out number 1, Ron.
Yeah, good play by Zo as he comes in on that slow roller. Span runs very well, but a nice play by Zobrist. And as you said, can you have a better day here at Wrigley Field? Wow.
Kind of wish you were still playing, I would think, today.
Me, yes. Cub fans, probably not. We're trying to win.
I'll bet you could lash out. I'm thinking a pinch hitting role, tie game, bottom of the 8th inning, winning run in scoring position.
Maybe if Bosio was throwing batting practice like he does to the pitchers, I might have a chance.
Angel Pagan will take a strike, and the count is 0-1. Pagan, the former Cub, was nothing for 4 last night. Pagan, a switch hitter batting right-handed. The next offering is off the inside corner. Lester had a tremendous month of August. Sometimes, Ron, when so many players are shining brightly, somebody's outstanding performance gets kind of lost in the shuffle. And that was almost the case of Lester. He had a brilliant month of August, winning 3, losing none, and a glittering ERA of 1.71.
Well, to have the record the Cubs did in the month of August, a lot of guys had to do well. And you're right. You know, reading today's notes going into the ball game, I knew Johnny had thrown very, very well.
Low and inside, it's 3-1.
But the one thing, you know, when you don't look at numbers every day of individual guys, then all of a sudden you see that 1.7 ERA for an entire month for John Lester, and you just go, wow. And then you match him up with Kyle, and you understand all of a sudden, real quick, how the Cubs had such a great month of August.
Cubs were 22-6. In fact, here's the 3-1, driven into shallow right, coming in Hayward. He gets there and makes a running catch. Pagan, a soft fly ball to right. That's not what a hitter wants to do with a 3-1 count.
No, not a good swing. It's a good pitch by John Lester, but that just goes to show you how much life on the fastball John has. Because on a 3-1 pitch, he just reared back and threw a 4-seamer, and really nothing for Pagan.
73 degrees at Wrigley. Game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. 4 Seasons. For all the right reasons, call 866-4Seasons. Buster Posey playing first base today, batting third, takes outside. Lester suffered one of his 4 losses in San Francisco back in May the 21st. In that game, Posey hit a 2-run homer against John. And as I recall, Matt Cain had a 2-run double.
Yep.
And those were the 2 big blows in that game back on May 21 in San Francisco. This is game 5 between the Cubs and Giants. They've split the first 4. They might play each other in the postseason. Pitch to Posey is taken down low. And the count 3-0. Lifetime Lester has made 4 starts against the Giants, a team against whom he is 3-1 lifetime. Let's see if Posey is swinging on 3-0. He's not. Taking down low, ball 4. 2-out walk, no score, just underway. Giants wearing their traveling grays today. Gray shirts and trousers, black hats, black numbers, black socks, black shoes. Orange is also one of the Giants' colors. The numbers are trimmed in orange. There's an orange and black stripe going down the side of the trouser leg. Here is Hunter Pence stepping in. Hunter, open stance. Almost looks kind of fidgety at the plate, always moving. But he can hit. He launched a long home run last night. Pence hits out of a bit of a crouch, and he'll take a strike from Lester, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, Pence really isn't one of those guys you would say to young kids, say you got a 9-year-old, hit like this. That's not exactly what you would say until you watch the barrel of the bat start going through the hitting zone. Then you would say, do what he does, because he can get the barrel of the bat through the zone.
Here's a pitch outside, and that really is the most important thing, isn't it?
Without question, and that's what's great about our game. There's no one style, and we were talking about that last night, and you mentioned it about Pence. There's no one style to get the job done. It's just get the job done and figure out what your style is, and that's what he has done in the big leagues.
Pence hits a high fly ball, shallow right. Hayward is waiting. He is squeezing, and the Giants do not score in the first. No runs, no hits.
Spirit of America, Mutual of America, your retirement company.
Pat Hughes here with some breaking news. Binny's Beverage Depot is now open in Lincolnwood. There are 3,000 beers from 6 continents to choose from at Binny's Beverage Depot. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Right-hander Albert Suarez. Big kid, 6'3", 235 pounds. 26-year-old native of Venezuela. He took the spot of Jake Peavy in the Giants rotation when Peavy went on the disabled list back in late August. And he'll start a game against the Cubs for the first time here today. Dexter Fowler leads it off. First pitch, and it's taken for a strike, 0-1. Ron, you were telling me you saw some video of Suarez earlier. What did you see?
Yeah, he's impressive on video. His numbers don't back up some of the stuff that he has.
Inside, it's even.
But good fastball. He can pitch up around 94, 95 miles an hour. So sinker, cutter, and 2 breaking pitches, a definite slider, and then a curveball that goes downward.
The leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Dexter Fowler gets a base hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicagoland Food Depository. Ball 2, 2-1. The next pitch to Fowler, swung on and missed. Looked like a changeup, 2-2.
Yeah, and he will definitely mix in a changeup to the left-handed hitter. But his stuff looks good, but he could be one of those guys, you know, if you make a mistake to each hitter, it usually ends up biting you, and that could be his situation.
Fowler loops one foul down the left field line, dropping in the bullpen area untouched. Fowler had a tremendous plate appearance to lead off last night's first inning against Jeff Samardzija. He fouled off numerous deliveries before walking in a 13-pitch sequence. Here comes the 2-2 from Suarez. Ground ball slowly to the right side. Panic has it, throws to first in time. One away, no score, bottom of the first. Here comes Chris Bryant.
Yeah, that last pitch to Suarez, that's that little breaking ball, more of a slider type pitch. Cutting in on the hands of Fowler, pretty good pitch.
Cubs in their home white uniforms. Bryant with a 14-game hitting streak. Drove in the first run last night. Tied with Nolan Arenado for the league lead in home runs with 36. And he'll take a fastball strike. Cubs in their home whites with the blue pinstripes, blue hats, numbers, sleeves, and socks. Dark shoes. The next offering, 0-1, is fouled away by Bryant. Suarez, the big man, kind of spins during his delivery. It's not as quiet as some of the deliveries like, say, Jake Arrieta or John Lester, where they keep it as simplified as possible. This is a big man. He steps back. Big leg kick and the pitch. Curveball grounded at third. It's gloved cleanly by Nunez, and he'll throw to first just in time. Nunez almost waited too long. Bryant not only runs well, but he's always hustling.
Well, when Bryant rolls over a ground ball and the pitch is away, rolls over it to left side of the infield, he gets out of the box extremely well. As you said, he always hustles. And if an infielder on the left side of the infield does not get the ball and get rid of it right away, there's a chance Chris can be safe. And that was a bang-bang play on a very routine two-hopper to third.
No score, bottom of the first. Here's Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo hitless in last night's game, hitting .290. Pitch on the way. Anthony hits a high drive foul down the right field line. This ball is going to drift out of play. Rizzo, 26 home runs, 93 RBIs. Not a cloud in the sky. Suarez, again from Venezuela, born in the town of San Felix, lives in Guyana. Fly ball to center, playable for Span, and it's a 1-2-3 first inning for Albert Suarez. Cubs go in order. We go to the second. Cubs nothing, Giants nothing. This is The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, this is John Lackey, and you're listening to Cubs Radio.
There's the windup by the big left-hander. The pitch to Crawford. Swing and a miss. Good fastball. Lester really has put together a fine season. 14-4, a 2.70 ERA. And the 0-1 from Lester. Crawford looks at a ball down low. Lester has made 26 starts, and more than a third of them have been in the dominant start category. Here's the 1-1. Crawford pokes it foul the other way. A dominant start, by our definition, would be 7 innings or more and giving up 0 or 1 earned run. He's done that 9 different times this season, Ron, and that's almost, not always, but it's almost always going to lead to a win for your team.
Well, you're not kidding. And he has been very good. His last start was outstanding. Gave up no runs through 6 innings.
Down low for a ball. It's 2-2.
Just couldn't get any run support in that last game that he threw in L.A. But very good start for Johnny.
Crawford, a .274 hitter. Terrific defensive shortstop. The next offering fouled away. The uniform descriptions we gave you a few moments ago, sponsored by Benjamin Moore, the official paint of the Chicago Cubs. Giants 11 games over 500. They are desperately trying to turn themselves around. They had a great first half. There's a foul off to the left out of play. The Giants and their followers probably getting tired of hearing this note, Ron, that they had the best record in the big leagues at the All-Star break, and since then they've had the worst record in the major leagues. 15-28 since the All-Star game.
Extremely unpredictable would have been that
line drive to Rizzo makes the catch, Ron. He was going toward the line, backhand of the ball, and that's out number 1. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that would just be extremely unpredictable. Don't you think? The team with the best record in baseball, position player-wise, extremely healthy. You know, you see most of their guys have been pretty healthy. You know, a few guys have been banged up, like every ball club. But like right now, they're a fairly healthy team and just have not been able to put it together since the break.
Here is Nunez. Nunez, a .229 hitter. And the pitch on the way by Lester. It's in there for a strike. I'm looking at the Giants lineup, and many times, Ron, when you're a contender or a division winner or even a wild card team, you're going to have a couple of guys in there having really big seasons or so-called career years, meaning the best year of their career.
Right.
There's a curveball swung on and missed 0-2, and I don't really see any Giants that would be in that category.
Yeah.
A lot of guys having decent seasons. Posey hitting .294. Here's a ground ball or a line drive caught by Lester. Lester, the big left-hander, lunging toward the third base side of the mound and caught that ball at knee level. Pretty quick move by John Lester. 2 down.
Boy, great catch, a great play. As Johnny gets talked about quite a bit about his defense and throwing the bases. How about that play? That's a shot and a save. But an excellent grab by Johnny. That ball was destined for center field.
Joe Panik stands in. 0-0 game, second inning. Panik at .255 with 10 home runs. Lefty to lefty, it's outside for a ball. Giants still have very good pitching. That's probably the main reason why they are still a contender. They have the 4th best team earned run average. Swing and a miss by Panik. And we'll get a full flavor of their pitching over the weekend.
Yeah.
That's not to diminish the ability of today's starter, Albert Suarez, but tomorrow it'll be Madison Bumgarner and then Johnny Cueto we'll see on Sunday. And they would clearly be the numbers 1 and 2 starters on this team.
Boy, you're not kidding. On just about any team in baseball. Those two guys, I mean, the Giants go out and get Cueto with Bumgarner, and then we know he got Samardzija.
Now the 1-2 from Lester to Panik. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Lester gets the strikeout. Fans won't strike out with Gold Coast Bank. Visit goldcoastbank.net today. No score at the end of an inning and a half. This is Mark, we go to the bottom of the second inning. 0-0 game. Ben Zobrist will lead it off for the Cubs. Suarez fires outside for a ball. Albert Suarez. I'll tell you who's really familiar with this guy would be Cubs manager Joe Madden. Suarez in the minor league system for Tampa for the better part of 7 seasons. There is a strike, 1-1. He was on the 40-man roster when Joe Madden was there, so you know that Joe is well versed in the career of Albert Suarez. The next pitch pulled foul down the right field line, 1-2.
Yeah, you think about Suarez has bounced around. Now, talked about looking at his stuff in video, but he has been picked up now twice in the last few years as a minor league free agent, which really shocked me when I read that after looking at his video.
Fastball is high, 2-2. He's had some tough times. He had the Tommy John surgery back in 2009. He had an oblique injury that kept him out of almost an entire season 3 years ago. Zobrist hits a fly ball into shallow right center. Pence and Span both there. It's Pence, the right fielder, to make a routine catch. And that's out number 1. There has not yet been a base hit in this game. Scoreless contest in the second inning. And the batter is Chris Coghlan.
Yeah, that oblique injury was at, I think it was 2013, is that correct?
Exactly.
And he had 2 starts early in the year and then missed the rest of the season, is what I read earlier today. And, you know, now he's made a comeback and has gotten back to the big leagues and starting for a very good ball club with San Francisco.
Chris Coghlan had a big RBI double his first time up last night. Takes outside for a ball. Suarez, a year ago, won the Texas League ERA title. And he became a minor league free agent in November, and the Giants signed him. There was a strike, and the count 1-1. But he does look like he's got a very good arm. The big man ready for the 1-1 pitch to Coghlan. Here it comes. Bouncing ball right side, should be routine. A short hop pickup by Panik. Short throw to Posey, and that's out number 2. 0-0 game. Here comes Jason Hayward.
Yeah, so far, not a lot of good contact by the Cubs hitters. And that just tells you that he's got good late movement because the guys are getting some swings in, but Either hit it off the handle or off the end of the bat.
Hayward had an RBI single last night, hitting .234. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. And the first pitch to Jason is a fastball upstairs. Well, Ron and Mark, it's about time to play the Nuveen attendance game for this Friday afternoon. I think Mark was the winner last night. Here's the 1-0 to Hayward. Fastball backs him away, and the count now is 2 balls and no strikes. Mark, if you're ready, go right ahead.
I am going to say 40,132 today.
So you're going higher than what we've had on the homestand so far.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-0 to Hayward. Ground ball sharply to short, picked by Crawford, and he'll gun it to first in time. And that ends the inning. The Giants play good defense. They have not committed an error in the last 16 consecutive games.
Cardinals start one up in Cincinnati tonight. Pat.
Trevor Brown will lead off the third inning. And he'll take a changeup for a strike from John Lester. Well, Mark's little preview there of the pitching matchups. A reminder that this is the only game going on around the big leagues. There's a swing of foul down the right field line, so we welcome all comers. And I'm sure we've got Cub fans. We know there are Cub fans all over this great land and beyond. So wherever you are, we thank you for joining us. Cubs having an incredible season. 39 games above 500. Inside for a ball to Brown, the backup catcher, hitting .247. How significant is it for the Cubs to be 39 above? Well, first time it's happened in 71 years. Down low for a ball to count 2-2. Got to go back to the 1945 season, which, yes, that's the last time the Cubs won the National League pennant. Cubs a perfect 4-0 on this homestand. 2 more games after today, both at 120 over the weekend. Driven toward left center on the gap, Coghlan. He'll get there and make the catch. The left fielder angling back toward the track. Hard hit ball by Brown, but it's out number 1.
Yeah, Brown, pretty good swing at this pitch. They want it away. It ends up cutting back over towards the middle of the plate, but it's down. He put a pretty good swing on that ball, and Coghlan brings it in right at the edge of the track in left center field. So now, partner, do you want to make your guess, or do you want me to? In the attendance guess?
I'll go right ahead.
Fire away.
Suarez will take a strike. Nothing game in the third. I'm going to go 39,000, James Bond.
Okay.
Here's the 0-1. Ground ball to the right side. Rizzo's got it. James Bond. Shovels it to Lester. Out number 2.
Very theatrical.
007 for all the non-James Bond fans out there.
Are there any of those?
Well, just in case.
Okay.
We have a huge audience, Pat.
Well, in my house, no one has a choice.
2 outs. Here's Denard Span.
Well, to keep in the spirit of the thing, I will go. What was Mark? 40?
He said 75,000 today.
Oh, congratulations, Mark.
Yep, they added a dome here.
He's going 40,132. Span grounded out. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
I scratched the spirit of everything. We'll just go 40,250. How's that?
Would there be a flat at the end of that guess?
Flat wasn't getting me too far there lately, so we'll just go with the straight guess. How's that?
Okay. Sorry I brought it up. 0-1 on Span.
Kid's way off his game.
Well, we'll see a little bit later on. There's a curveball inside. Now, it's interesting. Both of you guys are over the 40,000 in the guess, when in fact we have not had even a crowd as high as 39 in the last few days. So I'm going to do some interrogating. Here's a swing and a foul back by Span.
Well, my thought is, with it being the Labor Day weekend, And looking around at the lack of empty seats at all, I thought we were going to be back up there where we were before the kids got back to school.
Okay,
Could be way off, but that's my reasoning if you were, seeing you were asking or interrogating, as you put it.
Yeah.
We'll take that under advisement. Mark Brody will also have a chance for his reasoning. No score. We're in the third inning. Here's the 1-2 from Lester. Span takes outside.
I, over the last couple of days, saw, from our vantage point, saw a couple of bald spots in the crowd that I hadn't seen.
Thought you were talking about me.
No, you have good hair, man. Both of you guys have good hair.
Off the back of my head there from
No.
I'm like,
Looking good. The product works.
the product. Here's a swing and a ground ball past the mound. Charging is Baez. Underhand or sidearm throw to first in time. Good play by Baez, charging it. He never straightened up on the run. Made that sidearm almost on the third for the Cubs. Ross and Lester to follow against Albert Suarez. Baez 0 for 1 last night. Takes inside for a ball. We were just chuckling at a picture in the morning Chicago Tribune sports section. Photographed by Chris Sweda. And it's a photograph of Chris Bryant last night's game. Baez takes a strike in the count 1-1. Chris, it says, drives in a run with a first inning single, and he's in his follow through, ready to run to first, and it looks like he's got a big smile on his face.
mm-hmm.
It's a natural smile. Baez takes outside, and you pointed out something, Ron, that, well, you go ahead. When I said, check it out, Bryant looks like he's smiling, and it's right after he swung in a big league game. I mean, there's some intensity involved there.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch to Baez. It's taken outside 3-1.
And I said it's real simple. 36 and 91 with a month left. You'll have a permanent smile.
But he really is a very even-tempered, easygoing, and a happy individual.
Just a great guy, yeah.
The 3-1. Baez taps it slowly toward third, rolling and foul. Still 3-2 on Baez. But it reminded me, Ron, of the sports books that I used to read as a kid. I read books by an author named Claire Bede, and they were called the Chip Hilton stories. Did you ever read any of those?
I did not, no.
But they would have pictures, like every 30 or 40th page or so, they'd have a photo, an action shot. And Chip Hilton was a football, basketball, and baseball star. But they would have pictures, and he'd be like a quarterback ready to throw a pass, and there'd be a big smile on his face.
Uh-huh.
Here's a chopper foul. Left side, still 3-2. Or he'd be, shooting a free throw, and, 2 seconds to go in the game, and he's smiling. I don't think so. And it kind of reminded me of Chris Bryant. Actually, he is smiling, and it's a big league game. So,
well, your author wasn't 36 and 91 with a month left of the season.
I'm sure some of our listeners read the Chip Hilton stories, though. Those were a lot of fun. Late Claire B. Here's the 3-2 to Javier Baez, and he fouls it away off to the right out of play. No score in the third. Cubs held without a run in the first inning for the first time on this homestand. Special day for a lot of people here at Wrigley today. Cubs charities involved. Baez pokes one fair inside first down the right field line. Bounces off the sidewall behind the bullpen. Baez cruising in the second. He's got a double. That pitch was away from him, Ron. He just kind of threw the barrel at it and poked the ground ball between Posey and the first base bag.
Yeah, it's a good piece of hitting. Baez, every pitch was up in that at bat, except for this last pitch is down and away, and Javi goes right with it. Good piece of hitting, and just inside the first base bag, as you said. And once it got down into the bullpen, it's going to be an easy double for Baez, and a good start here for the Cubs in the third.
With that double, we remind you to pick up Majestic's official Cubs cool base jersey at Chicago Locker Room by Lids, or go to lids.com. Now you got Lester on deck. Nunez, the third baseman, even with the bag at third. Do you see Ross bunting or swinging?
No, I see him swinging the bat. See if he can drive in a run.
Takes the fastball down low. Scoreless game, third inning. Breeze blowing in a little bit. You can still hit home runs today, but to dead center, you better get all of it if you hope for it to leave the yard. Ross has 8 home runs. Suarez set, glances back at Baez and deals a sinking fastball, swung on and missed. The Cubs charities involved today, joining MLB in the fight against pediatric cancer by going gold for Childhood Cancer Awareness Day. Cubs players and coaches are wearing Let's Go Gold ribbon decals and wristbands. There's a special pregame activity also. The 1-1 to Ross. Cracked in the air, deep left field, down the line, curling. That ball is going to be a fair ball, bouncing up against the wall. Baez scores, double for Ross. Cubs lead 1-0.
Boy, great at bat by David. Back-to-back doubles for the Cubs here in the third as Rossi gets a pitch inside. It's a breaking ball. They want away. It stays in, but it's down. And he smokes this ball into the corner. And the only question was whether it was going to be fair or foul. And it just hits inside the line and right in the corner. Javi just trots on home for the Cubs' first run. But a nice at-bat by David.
Before Lester bats, 10 for ID. This is The Score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
Mully here. This is where the Cubs play. We are Sports Radio 6-7 in The Score. WSCR and HD Chicago. WJMK HD2 Chicago.
David Ross with his 28th run batted in. Cubs lead 1-0. The Giants are looking for Lester to lay down a bunt. They play shallow on the corners of the infield. Here's a bunt, foul. Lester tried to push it down the first base line. To make sure all of your business goals get across home plate, make the Village of Bedford Park a winning home for your business. That ball landed in an area that Ron and I cannot see. Blocked out by the grandstand wall, the sidewall in foul territory. So we had to rely on the call by third base umpire Adam Hamari. Back-to-back doubles have started the third. Cubs lead 1-0.
See if Johnny tried to pull this bunt to the towards first base. See if he tries to push this bunt towards third.
Lester will wait for the pitch. Instead, a bluff move by Suarez to second.
Nunez, the third baseman, playing in on the grass, but is going to hold his ground until he sees the bunt. So if Johnny bunts it towards Nunez, it would be an effective sacrifice.
Lester was going to bunt, pulls the bat back. Every time I see John Lester bunting, I automatically think back to that Sunday night game against Seattle. A game-winning bunt with 2 strikes on him in about the 12th or 13th inning, whatever it was. Cubs were down 6-0, came back to win on the bunt by Lester. Driving in Jason Hayward. Here's a pitch to John. Bunted back toward the mound. The throw will go to first base. First base in time. Safe at third is Ross. Cubs have a man at third. Suarez, Ron, I think, wanted to throw to third. I don't know if he had a good enough grip on the ball.
Yeah, he was set up to catch the ball and had his feet moving to throw the ball to third base. And everything worked out fine except the actual catch of the baseball. The ball was right in the tip of his glove, so when he went into the glove, he never got a good handle on the ball. And then because of that, fiddling around with the ball in his glove, he made the right choice, and then just to take the out at first. So it's a good sacrifice bunt for John Lester, and the Cubs got a man at third base with less than 2 outs. See if Dexter can do a little situational hitting, drive in a run.
Fastball up and in. Infield in for San Francisco. Fowler batting left-handed. He's got 39 runs batted in. Ross, the runner, at third. Fowler bounced out his first time. The 1-0 by Suarez. Line drive, base hit, left center. A run is in. Cubs lead 2-0. Soft single by Fowler over the head of the shortstop Crawford. And the Cubs lead by a pair.
Boy, great job by Dex. He just wants to get this ball elevated over the infield. It's a two-seamer that starts out inside, runs over the inside corner. And just a great piece of hitting, of keeping his hands inside the ball and just lofting it over Crawford's head. Cubs up 2-0, and that is great situational hitting and understanding what the defense is doing and taking advantage.
Dave Righetti out to see about Albert Suarez. Last night, the Giants starter Jeff Samardzija worked 4 innings. And he was taken out after 4. Here is Chris Bryant. A run in, make it 2 runs in, 1 away. Fowler at first. Cubs leading 2-0 on this beautiful Friday. And here is Bryant with his 14-game hitting streak. He grounded to third his first time. Big hole on the right side of the diamond between Panik and Posey as Bryant takes down low for a ball. There's a good 95-foot gap. Panik is beyond the second base bag, almost directly behind second.
Another strange situation. Pence in right field is 2 steps from the track in straight right field. He is extremely deep in right. I don't think I've ever seen a right fielder play that deep for a right-handed hitter.
And especially with the wind blowing in.
Right?
Yeah. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch by Suarez. Bryant takes inside for a ball. Chris, a red-hot hitter of late, hitting .307. Had a great month of August in which he hit .383. 10 home runs in the month. Keep hearing Chris Bryant and the initials MVP in the same sentence very frequently. Here's a swing and a miss by Bryant. The count 2-1. You'll never hear Chris Bryant say that. I know that.
No.
He's all about the team.
He talked right after the ball game a few nights ago in our post-game interview right after the game. They asked him quickly about it. We're about winning and playing tomorrow's ball game and trying to win. Just a great attitude for Chris Bryant.
Bryant takes a fastball strike and the count 2-2.
We were talking about that. Think of the maturity factor for all these young players the Cubs have. You know, Riz is only, 26. Bryant's a young guy. Russell's a young guy. I mean, we just have a lot of young players that are very mature. Team first.
That's a great point, Ron. It really is, because when you watch them, you don't feel like you're watching inexperienced ball players.
Yeah.
Bryant takes outside, the count 3-2. You watch Bryant, you feel like you're watching a seasoned veteran.
Right. Yeah. Anthony Rizzo, I mean, he is like the seasoned veteran. He's 26. I mean, you shake your head sometimes. Addison Russell's play the last few days has been, eye-popping, and he's 22.
And he did not start last year in the big leagues, right. Nor did Chris Bryant.
No.
So officially, this is their first really full big league campaigns. Here's the 3-2 to Bryant. Fastball inside, ball 4. Runners at first and second, so the difficult inning for Suarez just got a little more complicated. Now there's nowhere really to put Anthony Rizzo, and you got men at first and second. He's already trailing by 2 runs. Let's see if Rizzo can get something to hammer right now.
Boy, this is a big at-bat for Anthony and the Cubs. 2 runs already in this third inning. If he could blast one or hit one in a gap, Cubs would probably score 2 more at least.
2 excellent base runners take their leads. Fowler away from second, Bryant from first. A stretch by Albert Suarez. And the big right-hander fires. Rizzo takes outside a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Anthony lined out to center his first time. Doubles by Baez and Ross made it 1-0. Lester sacrificed, and then Fowler singled to drive in a run. Now Bryant has walked. 4 of the 5 batters have reached in the inning. Rizzo swings and misses. Good cut by Anthony. Maybe the best fastball of the day by Suarez.
Yeah, this guy's got a good fastball and good movement on the fastball. There's no doubt. He likes to throw that 2-seamer to the lefty in at their hip and break it over the inside corner, and he also throws a little cutter.
The set for the 1-1. Rizzo takes a breaking ball for a strike. And Bruce Bochy is not going to wait around. He's going to get a left-hander, Stephen Okert, O-K-E-R-T, throwing in the bullpen right now. He had somebody warming in the first inning in last night's game. But it's that time of year. Giants battling for a playoff spot. Cubs looking for their 5th straight win. The pitch to Rizzo, very high for a ball. It's 2-2. Giants with 6 different left-handers in their bullpen. I don't think I've ever seen that many lefties in one pen before. I mean, it is after September 1st, so they've also got 6 right-handers down there.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of southpaws.
Boy, Boch was wearing out the grass going to the mound yesterday with all the matchups back and forth. You know, late in the ball game is a good ball game.
The set for the 2-2, the pitch. Rizzo takes outside. Anthony had a good look at that.
As you say that, this is a great matchup for baseball fans of 2 really good managers, too, in this series. 2 playoff experienced managers with 2 good ball clubs. It's fun to watch the strategy on both sides of the field.
The runners take their leads. 3-2, they're not going. Rizzo fouls it away. Suarez pitch count up to 50 after 2 1/3. That has been one of the recurring themes of this Cubs season. Going almost back to day 1 back in April. Cubs offense making the opposing starting pitcher throw a lot more pitches than he would prefer to in the early innings of a game. That has just happened over and over and over again. The 3-2. Rizzo pulls it foul right side. As a result, many times the starter is gone by about the 5th inning.
Yeah. Yesterday was unreal. The amount of pitches the Cubs hitters made Samardzija throw in that first inning. And now today, this inning here, Anthony having a very good at-bat, fouling off some good pitches from Suarez.
Cubs lead 2-0, 2 on. Crawford, the shortstop, now bluffing in behind Fowler. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter, power against power. Now Anthony calls time. Not really calls time, just wants the umpire Hallion to wait until Anthony is set at the plate. Now the right-hander ready in the 3-2. Here it comes. Rizzo drives one to center. On the run, Span makes the catch in shallow left center. And that's out number 2. A hard hit ball by Rizzo. Span, the center fielder, made the running catch. And that's out number 2.
Boy, Anthony put a good swing on this ball. Hits the line drive, just hit it right at Span. 25, 30 feet to either side, and it goes to the ivy. A good at-bat for Anthony, but there's 2 outs.
Zobrist flied to right his first time. Hence still playing very deep in right. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Zobrist jiggles the hand slightly as he holds that bat and takes a fastball down low. Two in, 2 on, 2 down. 2-0 Cubs, third inning. Suarez ready for the 1-0. It's on the way, and it's in there for a strike. Cubs with an overwhelming lead in the division, 15.5 games over St. Louis. That is their largest lead in the standings in 109 years. Going back to the 1907 Chicago Cubs, who won the National League pennant and also won the World Series. Here's the 1-1. Fastball sinks low and in. The 1907 Cubs finished that season 17 games ahead of the Pirates. This is truly turning out to be an historic season for the Cubs.
It really is.
Now the 2-1. Big chop slowly hit. It gets past the mound. Gloving Panik shovels it. Glove to Posey. Panik never touched the ball with the bare hand and made a good play to end the inning. Score at 4-3. Cubs score twice. We go to the fourth inning. Cubs 2. John Lester now with the lead for the first time today. 2-0 Cubs. Angel Pagan leads it off and takes outside for a breaking ball. Same two teams over the weekend. Day games at 1:20 tomorrow and Sunday. There's a strike on the outside edge, 1-1. How about the matchup tomorrow? Jake Arrieta against Madison Bumgarner.
About as good as it gets in Major League Baseball, right?
Arrieta 16-5, Bumgarner 13-8. Here's a fly ball to center. Fowler is right there. He'll glove it as he comes in and makes the catch. Lester has set down 10 of the first 11. Still has not allowed a base hit today, and the batter, Buster Posey.
Yeah, the wind's starting to pick up here at Wrigley and blow straight in from center. Because that ball was pretty well struck. Dexter took a step back, and then it had come in 4 or 5 steps. So if you're going to hit a ball out to straightaway center today, you better get a little something on it.
Posey had a base on balls. Buster Posey spanks it foul off to the right out of play.
Pat, we got some great friends and sponsors of Cubs Radio. Graham and Jimmy Allen are here with one of your and my favorites, Kerry Wood. Woody dropped by the booth. How you boys doing?
Posey swings at a slow curve, doesn't get it. Every once in a while we see that video of Kerry Wood in the 20 strikeout game. I can't believe that's been 18 years ago.
We're getting old, Woody.
I like the look on young Kerry Wood's face that day, though. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Posey out, number 2. Good change by Lester. For John, his second strikeout of the day. Fans won't strike out with Gold Coast Bank. Visit goldcoastbank.net today. 2 outs, and here's Hunter Pence.
Yeah, we were talking about that game yesterday, Kerry, here in the booth. And Pat broadcasting the game, I had asked him what he thought about the game. He said the command that you had that day was as good as anybody could have with the stuff you were featuring. You're getting swings and misses by feet.
You know, and funny, it was one of those days where when I was warming up, I don't think I threw a strike warming up. So it's really funny how it worked out. But I got into a groove about the end of the third inning and fourth inning, and it just kept happening.
Pence swings and misses. Kerry, you were only 20 years old. The video, it looks like you're almost unaware of what exactly you were doing, and I mean that in a good way. You were in such a zone.
I was kind of unaware of what was happening. I knew that I was more excited about having my first complete game and not walking anybody, as opposed to I didn't know how many strikeouts I had until the post-game interview.
Really?
Outside to Pence,
Seriously?
1 ball and 2
no.
strikes. But I went down to the clubhouse after the game to congratulate Kerry, and you had kind of a faraway look in your eyes, like I have no idea what I just did. Pence strikes out swinging. Our thanks, though, to Kerry Wood for dropping by. John Lester strikes out Hunter Pence. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Cubs. But get well soon, Joe. We want to see you back out here at Wrigley and see you for the postseason. Chris Coughlin will lead off the Cubs' fourth inning and takes a strike. And that goes to all of the listeners, Ron, who are hospitalized for whatever reason right now. We wish you a speedy recovery, and we want you to enjoy this Cubs ride. And what a ride it's been. Fly ball to left center, and the catch by Pagan. He and the center fielder Span almost collided. Span, the center fielder, sidestepping Pagan at the last second. And the catch by the left fielder, one away.
Yeah, Span had called this ball, and the center fielder has precedence over whatever he thinks he can get to. And Pagan just cut right in front of Span. That could have been a dangerous play for San Francisco, but the out was made.
Jason Hayward bounced out his first time. He'll take a strike. I mentioned, Ron, a big day for Chicago Cubs charities. Cubs wearing the gold wristbands today. Jason Hayward has one on his right wrist. A lot of the Cubs do. In fact, I think every single Cub does have that gold wristband on their left or right wrist. Childhood Cancer Awareness Day. Got some information. There are 3 young people. Hate to see the young people. Hate to see anybody suffering, but it's truly heartbreaking to see youngsters going through a miserable experience like cancer. But 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the pitch on the way to Hayward. And he'll swing and miss strike 3, and that's out number 2. Cubs lead 2-0 in the fourth inning. In the pregame, though, some special guests. Audrey Hughes from Respect 90 threw out a ceremonial first pitch. Elijah Sepich from NVRQT announced play ball. And Adriana Fernandez was also involved in the pregame ceremonies. I have some information if any of our listeners would like to get involved. Baez will swing and miss. Pediatric Cancer Awareness and Fundraising. Anthony Rizzo very much involved. The Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation. Also Respect Bald, Respect 90, and the NVRQT. Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike now on Baez. But Cub fans can go run to Cubs.com/Let'sGoGold. It'll link to the player foundations and the various MLB foundations, where you can make donations and find more about the foundation. That's Cubs.com/Let'sGoGold.
Yeah, what a precious moment earlier, right before the game. Little girls throwing out the first pitch and giving a big old hug to Clark the Bear, is throwing the pitch to Clark. Just an awesome moment. That's just one of the great things we have here in our game, and that the Cubs do so well. And in moments like that, and then, just earlier this week, you don't get much fanfare, but coming into the ballpark, I saw Anthony signing for all these kids hundreds and hundreds of baseball bats to hand out to all these kids coming. So the Cubs players just do an incredible job of giving of their time and money and just, doing the right thing here in our community.
Baez chops it foul. And Anthony himself, a cancer survivor. Yeah. In fact, today is a milestone for him, an anniversary. 8 years ago today, he was proclaimed to be in remission. And he's about as healthy as you can possibly be these days, of course. A tremendous big league ball player. Baez lines it foul down the left field line. Cubs lead 2-0 in the fourth inning. But it's good to see Anthony and all the others give back. Baez started the rally with a double in the third. His double went down the right field line. Then he scored on a double by Ross. Ross eventually scoring on a single by Fowler. The Giants without a hit against Leicester through the first 4. Suarez comes back to Baez. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Curveball got him. Cubs do nothing. We go to inning number 5. Cubs 2, San Francisco nothing. This is the score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
What a historic...
Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience sports. First pitch in the inning, big swing by Crawford and a miss. It'll be Crawford, Nunez, and Panik here in the 5th inning against John Lester. Johnny with a good fastball, good tight cutter, as we always know that's his pitch. This pitch is hit to Bryant, diving play. On a line drive to Bryant at third, going down the line. You really can't make a better play as a third baseman than Bryant just did off the bat of Crawford. 1 out here in the 5th.
Bryant reacting very quickly, did a belly flop dive, backhanded catch, landed on his chest. Had to react very quickly, Ron. That ball was hit hard. Great play by Chris.
Boy, every third baseman be proud of that play. That's the toughest play for a third baseman. I know we talk about this a lot. Is that ball sliced off the left-hander's bat, hit sharply at the third baseman. That's your toughest play. Bryant made a great one for the first out. Bring up Eduardo Nunez for the Giants. First pitch is wide for a ball.
I remember when Chris was in spring training for the first time 2 years ago.
Next pitch by Lester is inside 2-0.
A lot of people were wondering how a guy 6 foot 5 inches tall could play third base. They say, is he too tall? Can he react to those quick balls that are to your left or right? Can he get the glove down to the ground quick enough?
And your answer? This pitch is popped up over Anthony's head. He's going towards the bullpen. And in foul territory in the outfield grass, makes the catch for the second out.
I don't think his size is an issue at all, Ron. He's got great quickness. He's got great instinct. He anticipates well. His head is always in the game, so he knows what pitch is coming, and that's part of it. But I don't think his size is an issue one iota. Do you?
I think it could have been if he didn't put in the work. But we have seen in the last 2 years the work that Chris has put in playing third base and the work with Gary Jones, the Cubs infield instructor and coach. His first pitch to Panik has popped up foul out of play. When you watch the work day in and day out that he put in last year and this year, you knew it was going to be a non-issue. And now you never hear of any of that. All you hear is, wow, Bryant's doing really good at third. He's a great athlete. He can play anywhere. Those are the things you hear now.
He really is a great athlete.
Oh. Next pitch from Johnny just misses wide. You think about how well he's played in left and right field. He's played third and he's played first this season for the Cubs. Now this pitch hit on the ground right to Zobrist. Fields it and flips over to Rizzo. So it's a very quick 1-2-3 inning for John Lester, and he is cruising.
Who's from there that I've ever met, I've liked. Mickey Morandini is from Valparaiso.
Yeah,
He's one of my favorite Cubs.
Cubs hitting here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be David Ross, Johnny Lester, and then the top of the lineup in Dexter Fowler. Cubs are up 2-0 as Rossi takes the first pitch down for a ball. And now Suarez right back on the mound. Rossi pops this ball up, foul and out of play.
Speaking of former Cubs, Mike Fontenot making his way through the Cubs clubhouse today as he was wearing his LSU colors. Big LSU-Wisconsin game going down at Lambeau Field this weekend.
Yeah, they're playing at Lambeau,
yeah,
right?
A lot of LSU people in Chicago stopping here to enjoy the city.
Next pitch to David Ross. This one's hit foul off to the right.
Left-handed batting Mike Fontenot, little man, but he could hit a long home run.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of, me included, though we're here every day, a lot of ex-Cub players really excited about the way things are going with our Cubs team. Long look in from Suarez, and now he's ready, and now the 1-2 to David Ross. His fastball is inside. Rossi in his first at-bat after Baez led off the inning with an opposite field double down the right field line. Rossi doubled down the left field line and drove in the Cubs' second run, and then he was driven in by Dexter Fowler. So Rossi with an RBI and a run scored in the ballgame. He swings and pops up a little breaking ball, and the wind will blow this one to the seats off to the right, not a play.
Well, we saw Fergie Jenkins a few nights ago. I saw Billy Williams coming in the park a few days ago.
Ryan Sandberg, I walked in with Rhino 2 days ago. He was here.
And all of them are just on cloud nine right now. They're thrilled with the way this Cubs team is playing. And again, you never ever know how a season is going to turn out, but this one just feels different than the ones in the past.
Yeah, this is just, team has been absolutely on a roll. As David swings and misses for strike 3. First out of the inning here in the 5th. Good pitch by Suarez to get Ross. And now with 1 out here in the 5th, Cubs up 2-0. It'll bring up Johnny Lester. Johnny so far in the ballgame has thrown the ball extremely well. He's kept the ball down. And that's kind of normal for him. He really, there's one thing you'd say about Johnny. He really does great command of the fastball and breaking pitches down in the zone.
You can just tell that's a big priority with him, and it always has been, Ron, just the way he finishes off every single pitch and makes sure it stays down.
Next pitch from Suarez. This one's fouled off. Lester had a big rip at the first pitch. Came up empty, and now this one he fouled right over the top of Dexter Fowler on the on-deck circle. Counts 0-2. Beautiful day here at Wrigley, but a pitcher's day. Wind has been blowing in all day here at Wrigley. Straight in from center. This one has popped up down the third baseline. Nunez giving chase, but it'll reach the seats just about at home plate of the Cubs bullpen, so the count will stay 0-2. But boy, after all the hot, humid days we've had this summer, this is like a shot of adrenaline, isn't it? When you come outside, walking around the ballpark the last couple days, just gorgeous here. Now the 0-2 once again to Lester, and this one once again has popped up off to the left and out of play.
And Ron, as you say that, when you think about postseason baseball, invariably you're going to have cooler weather, especially in the Midwest and on the East Coast. Not so much necessarily out west.
0-2 again. Same thing, foul off to the left. So Lester is having a pretty good AB.
But it's not a bad idea to kind of acclimate yourself to playing in these kinds of conditions, because it'll get even a little cooler a month from now when the games really start to count.
Yeah, it is a different game with the wind blowing in and the cool weather here at Wrigley, as that pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Good take by Lester. Counts 1-2. And Wrigley, as we've said many times, and all Cub fans know, it really plays like two different ballparks. Early in the season with the wind blowing in and it's cold, you're much apt to play one-run baseball and make sure your situational hitting is doing good. Johnny hits this ball high and deep to center. This ball is really crunched, but the wind's got it, and now Span coming in. I would have liked to have seen that in one of those days with the flags blowing the other direction straight out to center. But it will be a routine out here in the 5th, second out of the inning. Cubs are up 2-0, and it'll bring up Dexter Fowler.
Lester is only in the second year of, I believe, a 6-year contract. I know he's going to hit a home run. I know he is.
Now Dexter wearing the gold wristband you were talking about earlier. Cancer awareness for the young kids, but it's also got something else on, and I want to get your opinion, Pat. Dexter is wearing bright gold cleats today, all gold. And now, do you have a pair of bright gold gym shoes that you wear to the gym like Dexter is wearing?
Would they make me jump any higher? Run any faster?
I'm running out of hmms, partner.
Those sound like no's to me.
Well, I didn't want to quite say no, but now that you mention it, yes, it is a no. Dexter fouls this one off, counts 2-0. Thoughts?
I don't think I would be appropriate wearing those. They're great for Dexter Fowler and great for guys with speed.
I'm with you. Pitch down and into Dexter, and the count is 3-1. It was really a cool thing, though. Dexter had a few pairs of them. He was signing some of them to some of those young kids that were throwing out first pitches today that had cancer. Some of the little kids. It was just a really neat thing that Dexter was doing. And now Dexter gets walked here. So a 2-out walk for Dexter. And now we'll see how fast those gold shoes are at first base with Fowler on, and then bring up with 2 outs Chris Bryant. Cubs are up 2-0. Cubs would love to score a run here in this 5th inning.
With Bryant's power, Ron, you rarely would see Fowler running on a real hot summer day or night. But now with a little coolness in the air, chances are a little bit better that he might be trying to steal a base here. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely will come into play more and more as September moves on, with it being much more pitcher's days, pitcher-friendly days. Bryant hammers one to third, and a nice play by Nunez as kind of an acrobatic catch and a line drive over his head. So that will end the 5th inning for the Cubs. A loud out by Chris Bryant to end this 5th. Cubs are up 2-0.
Lester going to work on Trevor Brown. First pitch, ground ball to short, fielded by Baez. Throw to Rizzo. That's going to be dug out by Anthony. Nice play. To the right of his body, he reached out and speared that ball with a short hop pickup. Made it look easy, but it was anything but. 1 down.
Yeah, an excellent play as I'm looking at it on the monitor. This is an in-between hop, too. Well to Anthony's right, and he just made a great pick to save Baez on that play. Javi got a routine ground ball through a little two-seamer, and the ball sunk on him. But a great play by Anthony.
The pitcher, Suarez, will leave the game for a pinch batter. This is Kelby Tomlinson. Kelby Tomlinson, pinch hitting for Suarez. Giants without a base hit. Here's a changeup in there for a strike. Lester has set down 16 of the first 17 Giants. The only blemish, a first inning walk to Posey. So things getting kind of interesting here at Wrigley. 6th inning, 1 away. Tomlinson takes inside. It will be a left-hander coming in to pitch for the Giants. I believe that is Stephen Okert. Cubs got both runs in the 3rd. RBI double by Ross. Run-scoring single by Fowler. Liner towards center. Fowler coming in. Dives and makes the catch. A sinking liner into shallow center. Fowler came in, slid on his knees, and speared that ball inches above the grass. 2 down.
Well, it's a tough play with the wind blowing in because it can make the ball knuckle as it's going out to center field. As this ball started slicing away from Dexter towards right center field, as it started out in left center and just started slicing away. But he made a nice sliding catch coming in to get that second out. Excellent play.
2 down, 6th inning. Denard Span, the batter. 15 straight batters in a row have been set down by John Lester. The veteran lefty fires to Span, who fouls it away. Now, in the past, Span has hit Lester pretty well. Span spent some time in Minnesota. He was also with Washington for a while. So he's faced Lester quite a bit. 8 for 26 lifetime. Lefty to lefty, the 0-1. Just off the inside edge. The pitch count for Lester nice and low. Averaging only about 11 pitches per inning. This is pitch number 65. Span chops it foul, 1-2. Any thoughts on what you'd like here, Ron?
Well, I just like what Johnny's doing. He's come in and away from Span. I think that slider down and away, more of a breaking pitch than the cutter that he throws. See if he can get Span to pull off this breaking ball. He might be able to get another punch out.
Bases empty, 2 down. Cubs lead by 2, 6th inning. Lester, hands in front of his body near the chest. Now the pitch. Line drive to short. Caught by Baez. 1-2-3 inning. 2 balls hit right on the money, but neither man able to cash in.
For the Mets, Syndergaard 12-7 with a 2.55 ERA. Pass.
Mark, thank you. Thinking of the New York Mets, I was reading about Neil Walker and his season ending, as he'll require some back surgery. Anthony Rizzo leads off the Cubs 6th. The new pitcher for the Giants is Steven Okert, O-K-E-R-T. It's only his 8th ball game. All in relief. Tall lefty comes back to Anthony, and there's a strike. But Neil Walker run with a herniated disc.
No.
He says he's been playing in pain for about 4 years with that issue. And Walker is going to call it quits for this season and have some surgery. Rizzo fouls it back. And you wonder, I've always thought he's one of those guys that brings a lot more than just his stats to the ballpark.
No doubt about it. He's an excellent player. Good defender, but yeah, he's a winning player, and we talk about that quite a bit.
The 1-2 to Anthony, fouled away.
Now, I've had some herniated disc issues. Have you had any?
I have,
Yep.
yeah.
Very difficult thing to play baseball with.
But he's going to have the surgery, and he'll be, he hopes, at 100% come spring training next year. Rizzo fouls one away.
Now, did you ever get the injections into the disc?
The epidurals?
Well, they would go through the front of your neck into your spine. Have you ever gotten that?
Have not had that. I've had the one where you lay on your stomach and get one in the back of your neck. I'm sure you've had those.
Yeah. Not a fun procedure.
Rizzo hits a line drive, base hit center field. Leadoff single. The ball almost got past Span. Span had that ball, maybe hit a bad bounce in front of him. And he almost let that ball skip all the way through to the ivy in dead center.
Well, right now here at Wrigley Field, this playing surface has been incredible all season long. But on the last road trip that the Cubs were on, there were 3 concerts here, 4 concerts actually, here at Wrigley Field. And from what we've heard, they're going to resurface or put new sod in, I'm assuming the outfield. So it's not exactly to where it was all season long, the sod. So there are some hops out there in the outfield. Grounds crew has been working incredibly hard to make the surface as good as possible after all the activity with the concerts.
Ben Zobrist batting right-handed for the first time today. Takes inside ball 2. The Giants without a hit against John Lester. The Cubs have 4 hits now in the game, leading 2-0. Zobrist has flied to right and grounded to second. The pitch by Okert is a strike, and it's 2-1. The Giants began the day leading St. Louis by a game and a half in the National League wild card race. Zobrist will take down low for a ball, and the count now 3-1. The Mets are 2 games behind the Cardinals. The Pirates 2.5, and Miami 3 back. Colorado still with an outside chance, 6.5 games back. The 3-1 is taken for a strike. Let's keep an eye on Rizzo here as Brandon Hyde, the first base coach, walks over to confer with Anthony. Gary Jones, the third base coach, relaying the signs from Joe Madden.
Big hole on the right side of the infield with Rizzo at first.
Zobrist pops it foul out of play. That kind of surprised Rizzo. He was standing on the bag at the time of the pitch.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Anthony on that pitch. Now, in Little League rules, you have to stand on the bag. Big League rules, you don't.
You got to wait till the ball goes past the plate, don't
That's
you?
right,
Little League?
yeah. Past the hitter, that's right.
Rizzo leads. Zobrist will chop it foul. Still bright and beautiful. The colors are vivid. Some sailboats out on Lake Michigan today, just kind of drifting along. Looks like a family out there is having a picnic with a lot of sandwiches. I see some tuna and egg salad. Peanut butter and jelly, of course. You see those, don't you, Ron?
Sure.
Full count on Zobrist. Ben takes ball 4 down low. Cubs have first and second. Nobody out. Dave Righetti with nobody throwing in the Giants bullpen. Righetti is going to walk out to the mound. I would be surprised if they don't get somebody going in their bullpen. Jason Hayward is going to leave for a pinch batter. I'm sorry, Jason Hayward is on deck. Chris Coughlin is leaving for a pinch batter, Matt Caesar. So this might also be a little bit of a scouting report trip by Righetti to the mound to discuss how they want to work to the new guy, Matt Caesar.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Righetti headed to the mound, and he was waiting to make sure Caesar was going to get introduced as the next hitter, and then Righetti goes to the mound. And one thing, you see Matty coming to the plate, and if you don't know him, he's not a real tall guy, but he's very strong. And the one thing you don't want to do is just lay one in there and let him go ahead and turn on one and hit a 3-run homer. The other thing is he has great speed. So, this is a multiple. Cubs can do a lot of different things. Caesar can bunt and move the runners around, and he's got good pop in his bat. So you've got to kind of warn your pitcher and the infield of all the options the Cubs have.
Cubs trying to reduce their magic number today. We'll get back into that a little later. Right now, Nunez shallow at third. Okert from the stretch, and let's see if Caesar is swinging or dropping one down. The Giants think a bunt is in order. The pitch to Caesar. He swings and misses. 0-1. A right-hander throwing for San Francisco. That would be Corey Guerin, who gave up the game-winning hit last night. It was not his loss. Caesar pokes it foul. 0-2, and now that'll minimize the likelihood of a bunt.
Yeah, on both of these swings by Caesar is a little tardy, or it looks like he's trying to shoot this ball the other way.
Cubs 2, Giants nothing, 6th inning. Caesar waiting for Okert and the 0-2 pitch. Here it is. A little pop fly on the infield. Infield fly rule in effect. Panic. The second baseman makes the catch. And that's out number 1. Caesar retired. Here comes Jason Hayward.
Well, that pitch stayed inside against Caesar. He couldn't get the barrel of the bat to it. So now it's 1 out. See if Jason Hayward can shoot one the other way. He has had a lot of success in these situations, left on left, with driving that ball over the shortstop's head.
Rizzo leads at second. Zobrist away from first. Hayward takes inside, jumps back to avoid being nailed by the inside fastball. Only halfway through the series after today. Games at 1:20 tomorrow and Sunday. Cubs and Giants. Go to Cubs.com for ticket info. The 0-1. Hayward takes inside ball 2. Hayward has grounded out and struck out. Well, the way Lester is pitching, and considering that the bullpen is pretty well rested. Another run or two would look mighty big right about now. There's a fastball strike. Hayward taking, and now it's 2-1.
Boy, Hayward taking all the way on 2-0. Fastball inside corner.
Now the 2-1. Hayward hits it foul off to the right, out of play. Cubs started the homestand by sweeping all three from the Pirates. They grabbed the opener from the Giants last night. Cubs are on the road Monday in Milwaukee to start a road trip. They go to Milwaukee, Houston, and St. Louis. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike three. Hayward is out. Okert getting 2 outs after the first 2 men reached. Bochy to make a pitching change. He wants a right-hander to come in to face Javier Baez. This pitching change sponsored by Sloan, the proud water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, providing smart water solutions for your business. Visit Sloan.com today. Cubs 2, Giants nothing, 6th inning. We'll be right back after this. On The Score, and the
323. Cashner enters that game 4-10 with a 473. Houston is at Texas. Doug Fister for the Astros. A.J. Griffin for the Texas Rangers. Pat.
It'll be Javier Baez to step in. We saw Corey Guerin last night. The right-hander is the man who was on the mound when Addison Russell had the 2-run single. The runners, though, were the responsibility of Hunter Strickland, and that's why Strickland was charged with the loss. Guerin going to work on Baez. 2 outs, 2 on. Cubs lead 2-0 in the bright sunshine on a beautiful day at Wrigley. Here's the pitch. Baez swings and misses, 0-1. Baez had a double down the first baseline in the 3rd inning, and then he scored the first run. He struck out his 2nd time, both of those against the starter, Albert Suarez. Here's a swing and a miss, sharp breaking ball, 0-2. Javier might see a 3rd in a row. He has chased the first 2 out of the strike zone.
Guerin with a good slider and kind of a funky delivery where he throws kind of 3/4, almost sidearm. Tough for a right-hander to pick the ball up.
The tall right-hander fires, swung on and missed, strike 3. Same pitch. 3 sharp breaking balls, and Baez strikes out swinging. Cubs don't score. We move to inning number 7. John Lester. By the way, fans won't strike out with Gold Coast Bank. Visit goldcoastbank.net today. Cubs leading 2-0. Angel Pagan leads off the Giants' 7th inning. Pagan batting right-handed, fly to right and fly to center, hits a high pop-up. Should be an easy play for Baez. The shortstop over near the 3rd base line makes the catch. He crossed over into foul ground at the last instant. 1 pitch, 1 away. Lester Ron has only made 67 pitches all day.
Boy, he's been pounding the strike zone all game long. And as you talked about earlier today, down in the zone on both sides of the plate. He has had great command, but really it's been the fastball on both sides at the knees that has been his bread and butter today.
There have been a few balls hit hard against him. Buster Posey pokes it foul. Cubs 2, Giants nothing, 7th inning. Lester himself made a good catch on a line drive hit by Eduardo Nunez back in the 2nd inning. The best defensive play was turned in by Chris Bryant at 3rd base. Posey hits a ground ball to short, should be routine for Baez. And that's out number 2. 2 down, 7th inning. Giants without a hit all day. The batter, Hunter Pence. But Bryant's play in the 5th inning run, clearly the defensive gem of the afternoon. Dexter Fowler made a good catch on a sinking liner hit by the pinch hitter Tomlinson in the 6th inning. But Lester throwing a lot of strikes. Good defense behind him. And the Cubs lead by 2. Here's Pence. Pitch on the way to Hunter. He fouls it away. The attendance now, 40,818. 40,818. Ron Coomer the winner in the Nuveen attendance game. Here's the 0-1, a swing and a miss. Well, there are 3 of us that play the game every day. I'm starting to really identify with the recent Olympic Games and all of the bronze medal winners.
I understand the feeling.
They're on their feet. Here's the 0-2 to Pence. Breaking ball is low. Lester at 72 pitches. Many fans are standing. Love these moments at Wrigley. These never get old. They never will. The 1-2 pitch on the way to Pence. Fly ball deep left field. Trouble back toward the wall. And that ball is going to be a home run. Right down the line and left. A home run for Pence. And the Giants get their first hit. And they also get their first run. It looked like a breaking ball. And Pence jumped on it and pulled it over the wall and left.
Yeah, it's a cut fastball from Lester. That cutter, it almost looks like a slider. They wanted it away. And it ended up cutting back over the middle of the plate. And one of the very few pitches of the ball game that John has thrown in the middle of the plate. And Pence didn't miss it. Hit it into the bleachers. Down the left field line. First hit of the ball game here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning.
And the Cubs lead now is 2-1. Brandon Crawford takes a low curveball, ball 1. Pence homering for the 2nd time in the series, his 10th of the year. Right down the line and left. It was no more than 15 feet fair and landed in the first row. Towering drive. The new left fielder, Caesar, went all the way back and just had to become a spectator. Pence with 45 RBIs. The Cub lead is 2-1. Crawford bounces one toward the middle. Tough play. It's a base hit. Under the glove of Zobrist. Crawford going for 2, and he's going to be safe at second base. Crawford a hustling double. The ground ball up the middle. Out of the range of Zobrist. Fowler was over toward left center a little bit and could not get to the ball in time.
Yeah, Dex cuts this ball off as it goes past Zobrist, who tries short up the middle on a backhand play. But Fowler had a long way to run to get to this ball. And I mean, you got to tip your hat sometimes to the other ball club. And there's a reason why this team has won 3 World Series, and it's the play and the hustle of all of these San Francisco Giant players. We talk a lot about that with the Cubs. Same thing with the Giants, and Crawford ends up at second base on a ground ball through the infield.
Chris Bosio, the pitching coach, to the mound. It's very common for a coach or a manager to go out right after a guy has flirted with a no-hitter and finally gives up a hit, even though he still may be leading in the game and he knows he still has to keep working. It's bound to be a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah. Just a little concentration gap, after you give up that, what happened to be a home run in this case. It's a little on the deflating side, I would imagine. Have not done that at this level.
Nunez at the plate, the tying run at second. That's Crawford. Cubs bullpen is still quiet. The lead is 2-1 Cubs. Changeup is low to Nunez. Nunez lined out and popped out in today's game. Big lead by Crawford at second base. Here's a smash caught by Bryant at third base. Line drive right to Chris, moving toward the line, caught it at chest level, and the inning comes to an end. The Giants break up the no-hitter on the home run by Pence and celebrate the best times of their lives. David Ross first up, 7th inning. Cubs lead now 2-1. Corey Guerin fires, and Ross swings away and fouls it away. The Cubs got both of their runs in the 3rd inning. David Ross doubled into the left field corner to drive in the 1st. After Lester sacrificed, Ross scored from 3rd on a base hit by Fowler to left center. Hunter Pence broke up the no-hitter and the shutout bid with a solo home run in the top of this 7th inning. Ross will take a strike, and they count 0-2. No activity in the Cub bullpen. This date in Cubs history, Milt Pappas, who passed away earlier this year. He made some history on this date, pitched a no-hitter against San Diego, 1972. Ross pops it foul out of play. Came very close to a perfect game, set down the first 26 Padres. Walked Larry Stahl on a 3-2 pitch, and then retired the next batter, Gary Gestat, on a pop-up to shallow right to preserve his no-hitter. That was 1972, and that was the only Cub no-hitter until, or I should say that after that no-hitter, there was not another one until 2008 when Carlos Zambrano pitched one. Blowing outside for a ball. Kenny Holtzman had pitched a couple, one in 1969 and another in 71, I believe. Bert Hooton pitched a no-hitter back in the early 70s, so they had 4 in about a 4-year period, including the one by Pappas. Here's the 1-2. Ross swings and misses. Good high fastball got him, and that's out number 1. Giants with a good, strong bullpen. They have a good pitching staff overall. Here comes John Lester, and he'll get a nice ovation.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Johnny has really thrown the ball well in this ball game, giving up 2 hits in that 7th, but the home run by Pence breaking up his no-hitter or no-hit bid.
Lester has sacrificed and flied out to center. 1 away. Guerin's pitch to John is a strike. Giants will have the bottom of the order due up in the top of the 8th inning. So this will be Guerin's final inning. The 0-1 to Lester. Bouncing ball to short. Lester jogging toward first as Crawford throws him out, and that's out number 2. Lester retired, and the batter, Dexter Fowler.
Looking at some of these relievers coming out of the pen in the last, day and a half here for Frisco. And Guerin, he's got a mid-4s ERA. This guy's got a great arm. I mean, he's throwing bullets up there. He's throwing some fastballs right past Cub hitters. Kind of a funky delivery from that 3-quarter delivery. The ball just jumps at you.
Cubs 2, Giants 1, bottom of the 7th. Fowler 1 for 2 with a walk. Dexter batting left-handed. Guerin's pitch is outside. Cubs' magic number right now, 15 to clinch the Central Division. And we always get either a letter or an email regarding how do you figure out the magic number. I guess you can do it several different ways. Here's the 1-0 to Fowler. Swings and misses. I've always done it by taking the wins of the number 1 team, in this case the Cubs, the losses of the number 2 team, the Cardinals. You add those numbers together, and you get 148. You take that number, you subtract it from 163. And that's how you get your 15. Here comes the 1-1, low and outside. Why 163? Well, you play 162 games, and if there's a combination where your wins and the number 2 guys' losses exceeds 162, they can't catch you, and you are the champs.
That's right.
I guess there are other ways to do it. That's the way I've always done it.
Yeah. Same here.
But right now it's 15. Sinking fastball is low, 3-1.
It's a good sound, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you start talking about your team having a magic number, and we're the 2nd of September.
4 weeks from this Sunday, that's when the regular season will end on October 2nd. 3-1 to Fowler from Guerin. And Dexter swings and fouls it back. Now the numbers are just amazing. The Cubs 49-19 at Wrigley have the best home record. So today trying to round it off to a nice 50 home wins. They can open up a 16-game lead over St. Louis, pending the Cardinals game tonight against Cincinnati. And now the 3-2 to Fowler, fouled away. Cubs also trying to round off the number of games above 500. They can get to 40 above with a win today. 40.
If you would have said in spring training, at any time of the year you're going to be 40 games over 500, would you have taken it?
Sign me up. I'll sign a long-term deal with that one. As many years as you want to add. Here's a fly ball to center field, deep, but it's playable for Span. The left-handed center fielder comes in now and makes a catch. 1, 2, 3. We've got a tense battle today. We go to the 8th inning. Cubs 2, Giants 1. This is the score and the Xfinity Cubs Radio Network.
On night and weekend games. For details, visit Cubs.com. Pat.
To the 8th inning we go, thanks to Mark Grody. With Ron Coomer, Pat Hughes at Wrigley. Cubs leading by a run. Bright sunshine on the field. The left field corner now is in the shade. Right-hander Justin Grimm throwing in the Cub bullpen. John Lester's pitch to the left-handed batting Panic. Pulled on the ground to Rizzo. Gloves it. Takes it to the bag. Out number 1. Well, we always talk about getting the leadoff man out to start an inning. Lester has done that all 8 innings today.
Yeah, Johnny's been outstanding, only giving up 2 hits. Great command, but as you said, it's that leadoff guy every inning. There's been nothing really for San Francisco to try, thinking they might get something going. Before the no-hitter was broke up, the only runner, as you said, was Posey with 2 outs and a walk in the first.
Line drive softly, fair down the left field line off the bat of Trevor Brown. It bounces off the sidewall. It's going to be a double for the Giants catcher. Off-speed pitch. Brown did not take one of his better swings. He was actually fooled out in front. Able to just hit the ball hard enough and keep it fair down the left field line. It's a 1-out double.
Yeah, this pitch hits right off the end of the bat. And Bryant couldn't jump forward. It was out of his reach. And just kind of trickles down into the Cubs bullpen. Sometimes it's not always how hard you hit it. It's just where you hit it. And it ends up being a double.
Mac Williamson, a right-headed batter, will pinch hit. Williamson has some power, 6 home runs. Open stance. Big right-handed batter. The pitch to Williamson popped up off the hands. Playable for Bryant at third. He's waiting. He's got it. 2 down. Big out for Lester. Now Denard Span, the batter. What are your thoughts on the way Lester should work to Span, Ron?
Well, I think early in the count he'll probably come inside to Span. He likes to throw inside to Span early, is what he's done so far, and then get him out with something away. You just have to watch on making a pitch where a guy can turn on one and reach the seats. So far, Johnny has been masterful with keeping the ball down all game long.
2 outs and a man at second. Cubs lead 2-1, 8th inning. Pitch to Span. Ground ball sharply. It's bobbled by Zobrist. Picks it up. Throws to first. Got him. Good play by Zobrist. He bobbled it. Picked it up with his glove. Fired to Rizzo and got his man at first. Giants don't.
I would probably go the orange and blue.
Okay.
The U-Vi.
Chris Bryant leads off the 8th inning against Sergio Romo. Curveball is outside. It's 1-0.
You?
Speaking to me or to Pat?
Oh, well, you asked the question.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I like fighting Illini, yeah.
Here's the 1-0 to Bryant. Check swing foul at the plate. Now, Ron, what were the colors of Taft Junior College, where you went to school in Southern California all those years ago?
Black and gold.
Black and gold. There you go.
Now, are you a Big Ten fan at all, Pat?
Yeah, kind of. But I mean, I went to school out on the West Coast at San Jose State University.
Now, what are the team colors of San Jose?
I forget. Here's a swing and a fly ball to shallow left. Pagad is there, and he's going to make the catch. No, they're blue and gold.
I forget.
Didn't say I had a great long-term memories.
Memorable experience. Now, you were a basketball player there, so blue and gold, did you say?
Blue and gold.
Yeah,
That's what it was. I'm just kidding. I had a good time at San Jose State many years ago.
Yeah, we've met quite a few. And you and I played golf with some of your buddies from San Jose.
Sure.
They remembered the colors.
Here's Anthony Rizzo. They got better memories than me. Rizzo 1 out of 3. Let's see if Anthony can get a hold of one and make this lead a little more secure. 2-1 Cubs, bottom of the 8th inning. Pence plays extremely deep in right, only about 4 steps off the track. Nobody throwing in the Cub bullpen. We can assume John Lester will have a chance for a complete game. Rizzo bounces one foul.
Yeah, Johnny's pitch count, he's only in the mid-80s for pitch count in the ballgame, so we would anticipate him going right back out there and starting the 9th inning. Justin Grimm was throwing right there at the end of the inning, but sat down obviously quickly when John got the 3rd out.
This Giants pitching change sponsored by Sloan, the proud water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs. Rizzo cracks one in the air to right, down the line, deep toward the corner. Back goes Pence. That ball is going to be a foul ball. A foul ball down the line and right. It landed in an area that we cannot see. It did not have home run distance. Pence would not have had a chance to catch the ball. It was curling away from the right fielder, but it fell just foul.
Boy, this ball just keeps hooking, going towards the sidewall, and I'm guessing a fan had to have touched the ball for them to call it foul, and they're not going to review this play. It was very close. It did not land in the stands or hit the side wall that I've seen in a replay, but they're not going to review the play.
Cubs 2, Giants 1, bottom of the 8th inning, 1 away, nobody on. The 0-2 pitch by Romo to Rizzo. Pulled fair inside first, down the right field line. It bounces off the sidewall. Pence will fire to second. Rizzo has to hustle. It's a double. The throw by Pence offline. Rizzo gets a stand-up double. Sharp ground ball past a diving Buster Posey at first base.
Well, Anthony, 2 balls in a row, hit right down the right field line. 1 foul and 1 fair. As he keeps this ball just inside the bag. 38th double of the season for Anthony Rizzo.
Could be a very big run at second base. Ben Zobrist, the batter. I like the defensive play Ben made on the ball hit by Span to end the top of this 8th inning run.
Yeah, sharply hit ground ball. Bennett to go towards the hole to make that play to get that final out of the inning.
Zobrist takes a curveball from the little right-hander Romo outside. But again, the pitching change for the opposition, sponsored by Sloan, the proud water efficiency partner of the Cubs, providing smart water solutions for your business. Go to Sloan.com today. Zobrist 0-for-2, the lead by Anthony at second. Breaking ball is down low, 2-0. It's also about time, Ron, to name the Toast of the Game ball player, presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's, of course, is the official champagne provider of the Cubs. Who do you like?
Boy, I think there's no doubt in today's ballgame, Johnny Lester has been outstanding. So far, he's thrown 8 innings, only given up 3 hits in 1 run, as Zobrist is going to now be intentionally walked. But how about that performance by Lester today?
And he still is in the game, and he'll maybe have a chance for a complete game victory, as Matt Caesar is being called back to the dugout. Miguel Montero to pinch hit. The Giants have a lefty in their bullpen. And Bruce Bochy, after Montero is announced, goes to the pen to bring in a left-hander. And now we'll see if Joe Madden makes a counter move when we come back. But we can tell you with certainty there's another pitching change, sponsored by Sloan, the proud water efficiency partner of the Cubs, providing smart water solutions for your business. Visit Sloan.com today.
Go to Cubs.com/convention. You are the matchups tonight back in the American League this time around. You have the New York Yankees at the Baltimore Orioles. Chad Green against Dylan Bundy for Baltimore. Bundy 7-5 with a 3.71 ERA.
Addison Russell will pinch hit. The new left-hander for the Giants, Josh Osich, O-S-I-C-H. Miguel Montero will not appear in the game. So you have basically a pinch hitter for a pinch hitter. 2 men on, 1 away. Cubs lead 2-1, bottom of the 8th inning. Russell facing the left-hander Osich, and Addison takes low for ball 1. Ron, you and I were talking during the break. Once you get to September, there's more flexibility for your roster, and it lends itself to more creativity for the manager. And very few managers are more creative than Joe Madden.
Yeah, it's this move has worked out with the personnel that he has.
Russell takes down low.
Because now you don't hurt your defense in a 1-run ball game. You get Addison Russell at the plate with 88 RBIs. You're going to move Addison to short. Baez to second. I would assume Zobrist will end up in left field. And you have the guy you want hitting at the plate.
With 2 men on, Russell had the game-winning hit last night. Runners lead at first and second in the bright sunshine. Beautiful day in Chicago. The 2-0 to Addison. Low ball 3-0. He has not really come close to the strike zone. You do have a left-handed batter, Hayward, on deck. There's nobody throwing in the Giants bullpen. It almost has a feel of an intentional walk. Let's see what happens on 3-0. Or an unintentional. Intentional walk. The 3-0. Outside ball 4. I had the feeling, you tell me if you disagree, he did not want to face Addison Russell.
That last pitch was close away, but all the other pitches, first 3 inside. So you are correct. He did not want to pitch and end up letting Addison do a bunch of damage against him, and now he's going to get Hayward with the bases loaded. Kind of an odd play, though, don't you think? Risky.
Well, now you got a guy, well, you got the bases loaded, where even a fly ball could bring in a run. Dave Righetti trotting out to the mound. George Contos, a right-hander, will get up to throw. You do have Javier Baez on deck. But Contos just got up, so he's not ready to come in the game. Right now, the left-hander Osich will certainly face Jason Hayward. Cubs trying to break open a 2-1 game. They lead in the 8th inning. Giants will have the 2, 3, and 4 spots due up in the 9th, by the way. Giants keep the infield back, so they're looking for a double play ball. Hayward with his speed, tough to double up.
Huge gap in right center field.
Here's the stretch and the pitch on the way to Hayward. Fastball strike, 0-1. Pence continues to play extraordinarily deep in right. 10 feet shy of the track.
And around to the pull side with Span playing shaded way around towards left center.
The 0-1, swinging a fly ball foul off to the right out of play. Hayward today, nothing for 3. Grounded out, struck out twice. Rizzo leading in foul territory at third with a left-handed batter up there. The third baseman, Nunez, is a good 30 feet away from Rizzo, so Anthony can get a pretty good lead. Anthony will be watching for any kind of a bouncing breaking ball that might get by the catcher Brown. Cubs 2, Giants 1, bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded with 1 away, 0-2 on Hayward. Lefty to lefty. The pitch by Osich. Line to second, caught, throw to first, double play. Russell gets doubled off first. Hayward line to second, Panic caught it, threw it to Posey. 4-3 double play, inning over. Cubs do. Posey on deck and then Pence. The Cub lead is a precarious 2-1. Pagan shows bunt, takes outside for a ball. Justin Grimm getting ready in the shade of the Cub bullpen down the left field line. Pagan hitless in the game. The Giants have only 3 hits all day against Leicester. Here's a pitch outside, ball 2. With the 8th inning double by Rizzo, we remind you to pick up Majestic's official Cubs cool base jersey at Chicago Locker Room by Lids, or go to lids.com. The 2-0 from Leicester, and there's a strike, 2-1. John at 86 pitches, one of the lowest figures of a guy entering the 9th inning of a game that we've seen in a long time. Now the 2-1 by the big lefty. Pagan bounces it weakly to second base. Javier Baez down on one knee, throws him out, 1 away. By the way, Addison Russell playing shortstop. As you predicted, Ron, Baez goes to play second. Ben Zobrist is now in left field, 1 away, 9th inning. Here's Buster Posey. How do you want to work to him?
Well, I think you're going to try to work Posey away, at least get him out away. You run the risk. If you're going to come in, you got to come in hard. Because the one thing you don't want to have happen is throw a ball inside inner third and allow him to possibly reach the seats and left with a 1-run game.
Pitch on the way to Posey, fouled away. Posey, I believe, has swung at the first pitch all 4 times up today. Very aggressive hitter. He is nothing for 2 with a walk.
I think it goes right back to what you were talking about earlier today. The command of John Lester and throwing early strikes. That's a scouting report thing.
Here comes the 0-1 by Lester. It's down low, so batters figure instead of falling behind 0-1, I'm going to be in attack mode.
Yeah, you come up there, that might be the best pitch you get. And you know John doesn't walk a lot of guys.
Cubs looking for their 87th win, trying to climb 40 games above 500. Now the 1-1 to Posey. It's outside, the count 2-1. 90 pitches for Lester.
First pitch was inside to Posey, a cutter. Now the last 2 they've tried to fade away to the outside corner.
And the 2-1 to Posey. Swing and a miss on a change. Posey way out in front. You don't see him fooled that much. He was way out in front of that one. Now it's 2-2.
Yeah, we haven't seen John break out that slow breaking ball, but just maybe 3 or 4 times all ball game. Perfect time for it.
The strong left-hander with that simplified windup deals 2-2. Bouncing ball second base side, fielded by Baez, throws him out. Posey again did not take a very good swing. Kind of a late defensive cut, and that's out number 2.
Well, it's the pitch inside, couple away, breaking ball, and then just what we predicted, try to get him out away. And Posey with that fastball away, as you said, just a little defensive swing and a little ground ball to Baez.
This season, all save opportunities for Cubs pitchers, sponsored by the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. Save with rebates on smart thermostats. Learn more at ComEd.com/rebates. 2 outs, 9th inning. Hunter Pence, the batter. And Pence will take a strike. 0-1. Everybody is standing at Wrigley. Pence broke up the no-hitter and the shutout with a 7th inning home run. Cubs lead 2-1. Nobody on, 2 down. The 0-1 pitch. Pence takes low and in. 1-1.
David Ross on that last pitch really setting up way inside, making sure Lester got that cutter down and in.
Lester 1 out away from his 15th win. Here comes the 1-1 to Pence. Swing and a miss. He's made some of his best pitches of the entire day in this 9th inning.
Boy, still a lot left in the tank. That last fastball, good movement, 92 miles an hour.
Everybody's standing and roaring here at Wrigley Field. The windup and the 1-2 pitch on the way to Pence. It's high for a ball, 2-2. $40,818 in attendance today. Nobody has gone home. Lester working on a 3-hitter, leading 2-1 with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Pence backs away, calls time. Pence, a dangerous right-handed batter, waits. Lester trying to finish him off. The 2-2 just outside. Didn't miss by much. Full count. Almost looked like Tom Hallion thought about calling it a strike and then decided against it.
Boy, it's just that angled fastball starts out away, just missed the outside corner.
The count now full on Pence. The 3-2. Breaking ball walks him. Lester walking Pence, so the Giants still alive. And it will bring up Brandon Crawford. Since Crawford is a left-handed batter, it'll be Lester to stay in the game.
See Joe Madden going to that. I'm guessing it's a cup of tea that he's sipping. Just kind of big sigh like, oh, that would have been nice to get that last call. Did not. And now you got to face Crawford. Good at bat by Pence. Good battle between Pence and Lester. Johnny made some great pitches in that at bat.
Tying run at first. Crawford has hit the ball hard today. 1 for 3 with a couple of lineouts. Lester almost committed a balk as he was backing off the rubber. Just able to back off the rubber before he separated his hands on the mound. Lefty to lefty, Crawford waits. He's lined out twice and doubled. The pitch to Crawford. There's a strike, 0-1. Baez is out on the grass in shallow right center. Outfield pretty much deep and straight away.
Yeah, and Baez is kind of shaded towards the middle of the diamond a little bit. Hole on the right side fairly open, but Baez playing more up the middle.
Lester set for the 0-1 to Crawford, lefty to lefty. The pitch just outside. Lester's had great command today. He's walked 2. But even on the pitches all day on which he has missed the strike zone, it's only been by a hair. 1-1. Cubs lead 2-1 9th inning. Tying run at first. Pence leads. The pitch to Crawford. Swing and a miss. Good fastball by Lester, 93 MPH. It was a late swing by Crawford. What would you like to see here, Ron?
Well, I'd like to see that same fastball away. If you could throw it in the outside corner or even a little bit off the plate away, you'll probably get Crawford to swing through it.
Giants again down to their last strike. The lead by Pence. The pitch by Lester. Strike 3 call. Cubs win. John Lester goes all the way and beats the Giants. A fastball hit the outside corner. David Ross runs out to give Lester a bear hug. And the Cubs win again. They are 40 games above 500. What a job by John Lester today, Ron.
Boy, just that last at-bat tells you everything you want to know in this ballgame. He made great pitches. He hit the spots when he needed to. Had a lot left in the tank in that last at-bat against Crawford. And all game long, great stuff, great command, great composure. And this Cubs team wins another close, tough battle. But, man, Lester was at the top of his game today.
Cubs win it 2-1. David Schuster of The Score is down on the field. Cubs congratulating one another. Fans still standing as they savor another Cubs victory. And let's see if David Schuster has John Lester. I believe he